MOTB, which is Bible prophecy. So it says the wicked boasteth of his heart's desires will not seek after the Most High. The Most High is not in all his thoughts. And when brothers get into continued stroke, everything that this devil does, he does the opposite. So this is why we catch hell. You know, this is our captivity. We'll soon be almost up.
Like if you brothers in New York City, well, you brothers that are not from New York City, if you take the train, as soon as you go north of 125th, you see the people look slimmer, fall as Jakes, it's wealthier. But for some reason, when you go in the poor neighborhoods, that's where you see more people obese. And America is one of the few places in the world where really the rich people are fat, if you will. Why is that? Because the food choices that they're given. Now, the brother had mentioned the continuous stroke. We're talking about the continuous stroke. One thing that's big among some people is type 2 diabetes, right? You can't, your body cannot regulate insulin. And that's because all our people know is Kennedy's,
McDonald's,
Chinese food, McDonald's, pizza. It's what they call a food desert, meaning you walk around, you see a bunch of establishments that should be giving you food, but it's deprived of nutrients. And that's another way it breaks our body down.
What verse will be in on Isaiah?
Verse 6.
How many verses is the last one? 32. On 32? Yeah. Let's try to stay on track. Because if we keep at this rate, we'll be out here until 12 at night. So you gotta, that's the focus, man, right there. Throw a scripture or two and then move on, all right?
Back in Isaiah 14 and 6. He who smoked the...
You know how that is, brother. Fucking 3 in the morning. You're going to get something to eat. Ain't no way he's going to stop.
Well, everybody should get into it, man.
Yeah,
just see, like,
brothers,
you know, would you wallflowers?
Yeah, brothers. I know y'all got precepts, man. What's going on over there?
Isaiah 14 and 6. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted and none hindereth.
In a big way, he ruled the nations in anger is with his monetary system, the dollar. Now I want you brothers to focus on August 22nd because that's when they're gonna have their BRICS summit, and they want to speak about the implementation of the BRICS currency. Now they said that the BRICS currency is $55 to 1 BRICS. All right. So what's gonna happen is gonna decimate the US dollar. You see, and that's the one that stroked these nations and continued stroke is now about to be persecuted. And nobody's going to hinder it. Nobody's going to interrupt it. Because it was well deserved. Go ahead.
Verse 7, the whole earth is at rest and is quiet.
Yeah, that's after nuclear. That's after World War III. The whole earth is going to be at rest after this major destruction. Go ahead.
Yeah, and also, too, when the so-called white man goes down. Right now, the whole earth is in turmoil. Who's ruling? Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, right? And the scripture says, what's that in Proverbs?
When the rich rule the righteous.
Go on, say it.
When the wicked bear rule, the people mourn, and the righteous bear rule, the people rejoice.
That's right. When the wicked bear fruit, and who's the wicked? The so-called white man. And the whole world's in mourning. And then when all these implementations, as brothers mentioned, come in, they're going to severely be in mourning, man. To the point where they're going to start killing each other. Because the lack of bread is going to come behind all of this. The lack of food, right? We talk about the food deserts. They ain't even going to have a food desert. They're going to be actual desert. All right? They're going to fiend for that pizza. All right? Ain't going to be none of that out here. It's going to be shut down. Then they're going to start killing each other because they're going to say, okay, this guy got some food. I know he got food in his house. And they'll bust your door down and kill him. The scriptures tell you that. Or cannibalism. Go on.
I also want to mention that the decision against Russia offset this whole BRICS thing to the 10th power. And now they have something called the Project Sandman, to where all nations want to dump the US dollar at one time, which the money has to go somewhere. So they're pretty much going to give back the US the trillions of dollars of debt that they accumulated. So what would that mean? Hyperinflation. So if you're paying $10 for a loaf of bread, you're going to be paying $5,000. You see? And a lot of people ain't going to be able to do it. So it's going to be utter chaos in the streets of America.
That's right.
Verse 7, the whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. Yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon saying, since thou art laid down, no fella is come up against us.
So when the so-called white man goes down, the whole world's going to rejoice. You see, especially Israel, we're going to rejoice the most. You see, but everything is going to be in order, in accordance to where it was supposed to be, according to the law.
According to righteousness.
A fella is one that cuts down trees, right? And the so-called white man, cuts down trees, but he also cuts down people, which is synonymous with trees in the scriptures.
Got that? Let me get that real quick. It's the book of Mark, the 8th chapter, and the 24th verse. All right. It says Mark 8, verse 23. And he took the blind man by the hand and led him out of the town. And when he had spit on his eyes and put his hands upon him, he asked him if he saw aught. And he looked up and said, I see men as trees walking. So the scriptures tell you that men are compared to trees. So when it says the fir tree rejoice and the cedar rejoice, it don't mean actually trees gonna be rejoicing. It's talking about people, the planet Earth. Because when the righteous are wicked on authority, people mourn.
No,
So
that really means I see men as trees walking, meaning his eyes were blurry.
right.
He couldn't see it, then his eyes cleared up. That's what it really means. But you can use that, you know?
I got something.
So,
Psalms.
real quick. And so it says no feather has come up against us, meaning nobody came up to chop us down, to take us down. You know?
Yeah, Esau's the one chopping these trees down. Deforestation.
Real quickly. This is Psalms chapter 1, verse 2. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law does he meditate day and night, and he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of waters.
That's the scripture.
So, there's many scriptures that like to men unto trees. Even Yahushua being the root of David, all right?
Nice.
That's another one. Or they shall leave them neither root nor branch. You know, so you see branches are often compared to the descendants, you know? Yes.
Even if, like, you pluck a tree up and you turn it upside down, it favors the human lung. I had a shirt with 2 trees upside down. It said, without trees, you don't need these. So it'll show you, like, trees upside down favors the human lungs. You know, we get the oxygen and everything from trees.
That's the alveoli of the bronchi.
There you go.